First off, I'd like to start off by saying Happy New Year's to everyone. I hope you all had a good Christmas. And I am now at Potawatomi State Lake 2, or Pot 2 as the locals call it. There is a little bit of ice on the water. There's a nice shelf back in the cove off back that way somewheres. And there was a herring standing on it, which was kind of cool. And all this, last time I videotaped it for y'alls, was dry. Now you can see lake's up at its normal level. On my favorite bluegill spot. Now it's all grassed in. I'd make it really good for when the weather warms up and I can catch bluegill out here if it doesn't go down real low again. I was catching some real big ones here, about 10 inches plus, bigger than my hand. But anyways, the other purpose of this video, the clicking sound you heard in my Merry Christmas video. My last knife of 2018 is a Benchmade. I can't remember the model off the top of my head. I'll have to look it up again. Got that access lock everybody likes, and it's spring assistant. It has these nice G10 handle scales, these little grooves, which looks like it'd be a hot spot, but it adds a lot of grip, and it hasn't really hot spotted my hand yet. Let's see. As you can see, the knife is sharp. Now, a lot of people I'll see, they'll take and move the knife this way. I never do, because you risk a chance of breaking a tip, but on some of the knives they make nowadays, it's really stiff near the tip, so I'm sturdy, but I'd rather not chance it. So the proper way that I think you should pull a knife blade out of wood is go back and forth with the blade, then yank it straight out. And also, when you're cutting with a blade, you want to cut away from yourself. Put my leg here as a pretend thing. Because if you cut towards yourself, you can slip. And if you slip, especially if you're like doing word cuts and you slip, go yep, right in there, arteries. Or you can easily get a deep, most likely most people get a deep gash in their finger, which is no fun. I know from experience. How well does this thing go down on a chop on a small piece of kindling wood? Oh. Cuts through it a few shots. And this is my very first Benchmade, and I did drop it near my fly tying table, and it hit a pair of scissors and nicked the blade. Which you could I could see a little glimpse of it on my phone. So, but it's really hard to see, and it'll come right out the next, or I should say the first time I sharpen the knife. I haven't sharpened it yet, but I will eventually once I get the factory edge dulled down, and I'll put an even sharper edge on it. Or as my friends call it, a Sean Sharp edge, because normally I get my knives pretty sharp. You can always shave your hairs off your arm and stuff with them. Alright, walk back to my truck. Oh, looky here, we got some fishing poles. Another reason why I came out here other than just to videotape is I wanted to see what this looks like in the water. I recently tied it. It's a bass jig. Walk over here to this pier, see what this thing looks like in the water. I've got a bait caster, so I can't really cast it one-handed and reel it in. Well, I can't really cast anything. Operate a fishing equipment one-handed and being able to reel it in and videotape while holding a phone. I'm not Goro or something from Mortal Kombat and have 4 arms. That'd be kind of cool sometimes. I think there's been times everybody's been wanting to have multiple arms. Let's see. Zoom this in. That looks pretty good going through the water. That ought to catch me a fish. Maybe not today because it's cold and windy, but I'm gonna give it a few casts. Might have to go to a different part of the lake because this is pretty shallow, and with as cold as it is, I probably won't catch anything here, but I'll make a few casts anyways. Give it a shot. Anyways, again, Happy New Year's to everybody. Be safe. and I hope everybody liked my new Benchmade knife. Now I need to buy a Spyderco to take off my bucket list of knives to own, brands to own. Anyways, bye everyone.